Okay, I finished fixing all my plugs. Now I'm going to throw everything back together. First thing I'm going to do is put this power steering hose back and get this out of the way. I've already cleaned up my surface area really well. Wiped it down with brake clean and sprayed it down real good. Pick up your intake and set it down back in place. Now you want to get these bolts started. Just nice and easy by hand. Get a couple turns on it. Got that one started. Got that one started. Got this one started. Got this one started. Okay, now I'm going to put the back 4 bolts in. Start them by hand first. There's one. It's the exact same spacing as this one. Just get them all started by hand first. Then you go back and cinch them down. Then you torque them. Okay, got that one started. Now I'm going to put the last bolt in. Okay, got them all started. Like I said, now I'm just going to snug them up and then I'll torque them. Just nice and snug. I'm not trying to wrench on them right now. I'm going to torque them down with a torque wrench. Okay, get the back 4. Okay, got that one snug. Okay, that one's snug. Yep, getting pretty snug. I'm gonna switch to a torque wrench. This torque wrench, this is an inch pounds, not foot pounds, inch pounds. Go to 105 inch pounds. Now to torque this, there's basically 8 bolts. So I'm just going to do like a double X pattern on the inner 4 bolts. So here, 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 here. Then an X pattern on the outer 4 bolts here, 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 here. Hope that makes sense. It didn't say in the book, so I'm just going to do it the way I think it needs to be done. I'm doing like a double X pattern. Anyway, we start here. I'm actually going to use an extension on the front ones because there's that one's done. Yeah, I can't get to that one with an extension. Alright. That one's done. Now this one. That one's good. I'm going to do the last one for the inner 4. That one's good. So that's the inner 4. Now I'm going to do the outer 4 X pattern. That one's good. Now this one. That one's good. I'm going to do the last 2. That one's good. Now it's the last bolt. Okay, that's all of them. They're all torqued. I'm just going to go back over them one more time to make sure. They should be good. 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 And the last one. Okay, they're all torqued and good. Now I'm just gonna put everything back together because I'm done. Hopefully you guys can see I'm gonna throw on these 2 vacuum hoses, and you just grab it pop that one on. And there's this one, you pop this one on. Okay, now I'm going to set my power steering rack, my power steering. And let me show you, let me get a close-up of this. Okay, as I was saying, there's 2 bolts there, but if you get these 2 bolts off and it doesn't lift out, well, right there, see that bolt right there? Right there, and how that thing sits in that bracket. Well, sometimes that bracket's tightened down really tight, but mine's not. So I'm just going to set that in place like that. Line it up. There's a little peg right here to line it up. And you just put those 2 bolts in. This is all plastic, so you don't want to snug this down too hard or you'll strip it out. Okay, now you can just snap in your map sensor. Just plugs in. Pull this clip back. Plug that in, push it in, and push this red clip in. Check it to make sure it's on good. It is. Okay, now I'm going to throw this these throttle cables back on. First I'm going to hook up the it's going to mount like that, but your cables, you want to slip those into the throttle box. It's easier while this thing's out. You got a little more slack. At least I think. Put that one in. Put that one in. And just slip it in. Okay. Snip these down. Don't go too tight because they're, like I said, they're plastic. All right. For this other one, I'm going to have to go close up. Okay. Let me show you what I got here. First thing I'm going to do is plug in this throttle position sensor. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's kind of dark back here. That just snaps on like that. Then I'm going to slip on this vacuum hose here and just push that on, hopefully. Okay, got that pushed in. Okay, now you just slip this on until it snaps in, and there's a little red clip you got to push. That's in place. All right. That air intake has a little slot for this post and a little slot for this post, and there's a gasket on the bottom that slips over this portion, and then you got to bolt it in right here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. See, this thing is notorious for falling off every time you take this thing off. So you got to make sure this gasket is on right, otherwise you'll be fighting it forever, trying to get it to go on. Okay, that's pretty much lined up. So here's the bolt hole, here's that part of the gasket, this is the post and the post. So alright, that should be enough. Put my ear box. Go ahead and try to slip this over. Leave it loose though. You won't fight it as much. Okay, got that on. And it popped right in. There's a little here that clips on. You just pop it on. Also, let me show you this. There's a sensor right here, the air intake temperature sensor. It's right here. Don't forget to plug this in. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Don't forget to plug this in. Snap it in. This one also has a red clip. It's just a matter of putting this bolt on. And she's tight. Also, don't forget to slip on this air hose. You have a big vacuum leak. There you go. Got that on. Okay, I almost forgot my PCV hose. This one's actually, I can see there's a crack on it. It needs to be changed out, really. But you just pop that sucker on right there. Done deal. Now, it's up to you to decide which one's easier to do. It's completely up to you to reach those back plugs. Some people can actually slip their hand in there and not have to take off anything and reach them if you got long, skinny arms. However, me, I got fat, stubby arms, so I got to either take off that or take off that. To me, it's easier just to take off the intake, because I don't know, this one there's a lot of bolts just to get the plastic cover off. Then you got to take off a bolt on the windshield wiper, and you got to use a puller sometimes to pull those off. And then when you get inside, you got even more bolts. I don't know, to me it's just as easy to pull this stuff out. It's up to you though. That's how I did it.